Hey everyone, welcome back to week number 10.
10. Oh, this is the last one we can do on our hands.
10. We got to start breaking out the toes after
yeah.
this one.
This is pretty cool.
Week 10 of the Lucas and Lee podcast coming right at you.
Yes, it's been a great week for me. How was your week?
The last half of the week was better than the first half of the week.
Okay.
So, well, more on that later. But I, for the first time, saw the movie Love Actually.
That's a classic.
Which people were shocked. People were shocked that this was the first time I'd ever seen Love Actually.
Yeah, I remember the first time I watched it. It wasn't when it was out. I was late to the party on Love Actually too. I watched it in November of 2010. I remember watching it, and I actually stole the stunt where the guy is doing the flashcards for the girl. I did that for a girl. It works wonders. If you need it, if you ever want to impress a girl, do the thing with the flashcards. It works. It works wonders.
You know, I once almost did the boombox thing from Say Anything.
Oh yeah.
Instead, I just sent her the boombox.
Oh, did that work?
No, it didn't.
Okay. Well, next time try the cards.
I will try the cards next time. I'll try the cards. So, and then also at the insistence of the GM of
the Stockton Cargo
my team, I started seeing Nobody Wants This.
Okay. I haven't heard of that one.
And it's on Netflix.
Okay.
It apparently is all the rage. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves it. Starts Adrian Brody, the dude, the dude from the OC. He's a rabbi.
Yeah. Okay.
And Kristen Bell is a podcast host.
Okay.
Except instead of making fun of people and talking about football and baseball and all that fun stuff, she talks about sex toys and female orgasms.
Okay.
So
and she's the rabbi's
girlfriend.
Okay.
Which makes for an interesting pairing.
Definitely makes. Yeah.
But it also, mind you, it brings us the three most hateable people on TV today.
Okay.
And I thought, Vanderpump Rules would give me the most hateable people on the planet.
And this one's worse.
Scandival, I thought, was the, mountaintop of hateable people. No. The rabbi's mom, the rabbi's sister-in-law, and then Kate Bell's sister are the three most hateable people on TV today.
I'm going to have to check this out.
You will have to watch it, and you will agree with me that you just want to reach through the TV and just slap them. Yes, you do. You really do. You really do.
Well, somebody that people... I don't know too many people that hate Jennifer Lopez. Most people love Jennifer Lopez.
You know who loves J-Lo?
Who loves her?
Our friend, Phil Herrera.
The big Kahuna!
The Kahuna. Now, Phil... Lovely, lovely, lovely individual. We love Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. I love
When
Phil.
I was going to have a wedding, he was going to be one of my groomsmen.
100%.
My bachelor party was me, Phil, and some other guys golfing out at Stockton Golf and Country Club.
Yeah.
However, Phil has a penchant for really just being drawn to really, really bad relationships.
Toxic people.
Extremely toxic. Like, if I had $1 for every time I had to extricate Phil from a horrible relationship, I would literally rival Elon Musk.
You'd own X.
I would own X and SpaceX and all those things.
Oh.
But once upon a time, Phil apparently rode in an elevator for 30 seconds with J-Lo.
So basically they dated.
They dated for 30 seconds. And this is according to J-Lo apparently. So for those of you out there listening who know Phil, and you see on his Facebook and Instagram whenever he has J-Lo at, a sporting event or something, and his face is pasted over, photoshopped over whoever J-Lo is with, that is the origin.
Okay.
Because apparently J-Lo's his ex.
Okay. So they did their thing. They were interested. Well, Jennifer Lopez, or Jennifer Lonely, is, she says, LA is the loneliest city in America. And it's probably because the Big Kahuna doesn't live there.
It is 100% because the Big Kahuna doesn't live there.
Yeah.
But, that brings us to thinking, where is the loneliest city in the Central Valley?
Fresno.
Without a doubt.
No doubts.
Without a doubt. Look, Fresno is a city that has zero redeeming qualities to it, okay? When you think of major cities in the valley, okay, we're Stockton, okay? We were a major trading port during the gold rush.
Absolutely, yeah.
We actually have the second largest inland port in the West Coast.
Yeah.
We have a major private prestigious university.
Yes, big time.
And it has the Lucas and Lee podcast.
100%.
I mean, there you go. You have Bakersfield. Kern County has oil. Okay, that's Bakersfield's reason for existence.
And it's a hometown of Derek Carr.
It is the hometown of Derek Carr and Dwight Yoakam.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dwight Yoakam. Modesto is famous for giving us celebrity murders that spawn multiple podcasts.
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
and George Lopez.
And
not George
Lucas. And American Graffiti.
Yes, American Graffiti.
American Graffiti. Fresno has given us
nothing.
Nothing of value. Nothing of value has ever come out of Fresno. I'm sorry. Look, I do multiple political things up and down the valley. You know, the one city I skip
is Fresno.
Yeah. I just stay away.
The name says it all. Fresno.
You know, they once upon a time had I don't know if it was their tourist board or Chamber of Commerce, had a campaign that said, not Fresno, yes.
Yeah, that's bad. Any town that elects Bubba from the Heat of the Night as their mayor says it all. Bubba from the Heat of the Night.
And the amount of people who said they were voting for Bubba would have stunned a herd of buffalo.
Well, what would be the friendliest city for dating in the valley? If Fresno is the loneliest, what's the friendliest?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you take this one.
For the friendliest, I would say, if you're excluding Sacramento, I would say Turlock. They have a nice downtown, right?
Okay, look, when I think of friendliest cities to date in, it's not the downtown. It's the women I would date.
Okay.
And there are 0 cities in the valley. 0. See that right there? That's a big 0. And it's just my preference.
0?
It's my preference.
Not one?
No. But like Sacramento barely makes the cut.
Barely?
I'm not. My gaslighting ex from last year comes from Elk Grove, which is basically a suburb of Sacramento, so that gives us some serious demerit points. But I mean, look, it's my personal preference. I prefer to date someone who has a very different worldview than 99.8% of the women in the Central Valley.
Well, you know what The Rock said about Sacramento?
Do tell.
He said, the only good thing about Sacramento is leaving Sacramento.
I can't bag on Sacramento too much given my line of work, and it is the state capital and all. But I mean, it's just take my hometown of Hillmar for example. There's a reason I left Hillmar. There's a reason.
It's a great place to be from.
It's a great place to be from. And look, my entire family still lives in Hillmar. They like it in Hillmar. That's their worldview. They love the whole small town homecoming parade. Woo.
That's not you.
Crosswalks roll up at 9:00 at night. Everything closes, and that's not me. That's not me. I'd like to have a little culture, and yes, I realize everyone that I do live in Stockton, California, so I have no room to talk really on the culture thing. But it's got a lot more culture than basically the rest of the Central Valley combined, for the most part.
No, it's the most diverse city in America.
It is the most diverse city in America.
You got to give big shots out to Stockton for that. And, Stockton, I don't think, is the hardest place to meet people. But what's interesting is that you sent me last week, like, a stat sheet about how couples used to meet. And it was church, work, in places like that.
Yes.
And very organic. And it wasn't like you planned on meeting somebody. You would go to church or go to work, and all of a sudden you'd connect with somebody, and then you'd start dating, and then you get married and live happily ever after. But now it's not even you. I mean, you can't even really flirt with people at work.
Nope. Oh, definitely no. That's a definite faux pas.
Yeah.
That's
so
a fireable offense.
You're not going to date people at work. So now most people are meeting through online. Yeah.
They meet online.
Yeah. You meet on actually. I heard this stat that Instagram is the #1 dating app in the world. Not any of the other the official dating apps. Instagram is the #1 dating app in the world.
That's because people are trying to slide into DMs.
Absolutely.
This would be the perfect time in the podcast where we should have had Fit Lurie.
Oh, heck yeah.
We should have Fit Lurie on so we could ask her exactly how many dudes try to slide into her DMs.
She gets so many. It's absolutely ridiculous. And speaking of relationships and couples, what is this thing with David Portnoy and his ex-wife? Or is it ex-wife? Or are they still?
No. They're still together. So here's the rundown. Here's the skin. So David Portnoy,
That's Barstool guy,
the head of the founder of Barstool,
and he does the pizza reviews.
Yes, yeah. So he and his wife got married in 2008. They separated in 2017.
So they were married like 9 years. Basically.
They were married for basically 9 years, and they're not legally divorced yet. And there was I want to say it was an Us Weekly. It was sent to me by a certain someone. She knows who she is. That talks about how Dave Portnoy says his separated wife has full access to his bank account.
Ooh.
Like passwords, all that. Can go in, take money out today if she wanted to.
I mean, I guess maybe he has so much money, doesn't care, doesn't matter.
And he says that it's okay that way. That he trusts her fully. Mind you, they're separated. They're no longer together. But he still trusts her fully to let her have access to the bank account. And he goes on to say they tried to get divorced in the state of Massachusetts. And it wouldn't let them. Because whatever they came up with, the judge said was not equitable. Now,
that's weird.
That
doesn't make sense.
So that's where my BS meter really went off. Because as someone who has been divorced, no. Look, a judge will basically say, what do you guys want to do divorce-wise? So, like, when my ex-wife and I got divorced, and I've said it on here many times, she was the one who made the coin in our relationship. She was an executive at Facebook. She got paid bank.
Yeah.
She got stock options.
Big time.
Big time stock options, of which, mind you, I was legally entitled to half of whatever at least half of whatever stock options she got. 2 years of alimony, probably. Okay. Especially given the fact that it was right after, I got a brand new liver and didn't die. But we came to an agreement. And it basically was, we both leave with what we came in with.
Yeah, okay.
She wanted nothing to do with the state of Florida, which right there told you that, this was not meant to be.
Florida is your heaven.
Florida is my heaven. Let's be very clear. And said, you can have the luxurious single wide trailer we bought there while I was waiting for my transplant. And the Gator Orange Fiat E500.
Okay.
That she purchased there. But other than that, we go our separate ways. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't even ask for the house and the car. I literally said, okay, we'll go just our separate ways. She stuck around, made sure I survived and lived. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's all I needed. And we went. And guess what? And California's a community property state. I mean, literally, all we had to say is, we're divorcing, here are our assets. And the judge, unless we said so, the judge would have said, 50-50, here you go. Yeah. So, and not only that, I do remember a little bit of, going to law school, just a smidge. But I did pay enough attention to get a nice fancy degree on my wall, which is right there.
Back there, yeah.
And especially when it comes to divorce proceedings, judges will only not allow or invalidate when there is such a huge discrepancy in understanding between the two parties. And would you like to know what famous athlete caused that ruling?
Who? Which famous?
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, dude?
Barry Bonds.
The greatest hitter of all time?
Barry Bonds' first wife, Sunny, who was Swedish and spoke very limited English, when they divorced, he had a team of attorneys and she had no one. And they basically shoved something in her face and said, you need to sign this right now. And she did. And someone told her, you've been done dirty, and took it to court. And the court invalidated it, overturned it, and made it do an equitable 50-50 agreement because she had limited knowledge. And that is not the Dave Portnoy case.
No.
His wife is not dumb. So, and I actually told the person who sent me this story that, honestly, what I think is that, and this is my opinion, it's one of those cases where Dave Portnoy must have been caught in bed with a live boy or a dead girl. Or something of that ilk.
There's something going on.
Something going on there that says, I will let you have access to my bank account.
Because Massachusetts is more liberal than California.
Massachusetts is much more liberal than
whole
California.
thing does not make sense at all. And David Portnoy is kind of a dirtbag.
He definitely falls under the Chad and Brad category.
Well, he does not like women's sports.
He does not. So, the same person who sent me the Dave Portnoy thing also sent me this Instagram post from The Gist, which is a women's sports newsletter, which I obviously subscribe to. And Spotify Wrapped is the big thing this week. Everyone's Spotify Wrapped came out. Dr. Dre happened to be at the top. Dr. Dre and Biggie Smalls was the top of my Spotify Wrapped. But it was a take on that, and it was like 13,588 minutes arguing with someone who doesn't see the value in women's sports. And basically, dads, chads, and brads, 13,588 minutes spent arguing with dads, chads, and brads about women's sports. And I bring that up because, earlier you asked how my week was.
Yeah.
And I said, the later half was better than the first half, basically. So, Saturday, my nephews, Luke and Harrison, for those of you who follow me on the gram, you are very familiar with Video Time with Luke and Harrison, where they throw stuffed animals at the camera and all that fun stuff. It was their birthday. They turned 7.
Okay. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to Luke and Harrison. So, we had a little birthday party for them. Come down there. And look, I just threw a t-shirt on. So I threw on my t-shirt. People who are regular viewers of the podcast have seen it. Everyone watches women's sports.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sitting there watching Georgia take 8 overtimes to get past Georgia Tech.
I know. That was a rough one for Georgia.
That was a rough one for Georgia. Bet you the Cavender twins were probably at the game. That's why Carson Beck sucked.
By the way, put your money on Notre Dame to win the championship. Go ahead.
That's a brave choice. So, but that being said, my brother, who we have discussed on this podcast before, very MAGA. My brother is very MAGA. He definitely falls under the Brad category.
Okay, Brad.
I think Chad. Chad probably has the sweater. Over
Chad's Mitt Romney.
Yes. Chad is Mitt Romney.
Brad is the red hat.
Brad is red. So my brother's a Brad.
Yeah.
My brother's a Brad. And sits down and reads my t-shirt.
Out loud?
Reads it out loud and laughs while he's reading it. Everyone watches women's sport. Oh, that's funny. And I give him this look. Like, what's your problem? And I go to him. I'm like, you realize I own a women's soccer team, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so. I'm like.
So they know what your business is.
That ticked me off.
It should.
That really ticked me the hell off.
As it should.
I'm like, it's your own family member. And they're letting their little slanted view of, women's sports get in the way of, hey, I've got a family member who's trying to do something great, who's invested quite a bit of money in this sport, in this team, and I'm going to make fun of it because it fits within my worldview. And you know who should watch women's sports? Everyone should watch women's sports.
If you have a daughter, if you have a mother, if you have a sister, you should watch women's sports.
So the same guys who hate on women's sports are the ones who go out there and say, oh, look at the role models they have. Taylor Swift, Lizzo, the WAP song. And yet they're hating on these perfectly fine role models that are female athletes.
Yeah.
That are, Allison Felix winning a gold medal right after she gave birth to a 9-pound child.
What does he have to say about the WNBA having the highest ratings ever in Caitlin Clark? Well, a lot of people watch the WNBA now.
Not only that, women's sports is also innovative.
Yes.
I mean, and I will use one example. Whenever we do our picks, we always do USL Super League.
Yeah.
So, USL Super League, women's top division soccer league here in the United States. 8 teams, expanding. Jacksonville comes in next year. Another one is coming in.
That's huge. People are watching it.
People are watching. So, you know me, I'm the soccer nut here. I'm the soccer aficionado. The one thing that European soccer snobs in America complained about for the longest time is that American soccer leagues don't follow the international calendar, which is August to May.
Yeah.
That's the international calendar. What USL Super League start at?
Jump right on it.
August to May. Are those Euro soccer snobs watching USL Super League? They should be.
They might be, yeah.
They're probably not, because they're going to find something else to complain about.
Oh,
But they
everybody's going to
should
complain
be.
about something.
They should be. You know what else USL Super League introduced in the United States?
What's that?
No draft.
Oh.
No draft. Much like the Euro model, go out, sign your players, no draft. The only top-tier league when they introduced it, the only top-tier league. What happened right after they introduced it? NWSL comes along and says, we're not going to do a draft either.
I wish they would do that in baseball because the Giants suck at drafting.
And you know, it really is. You are allowed. It allows teams to have more innovative scouting.
Yeah,
plans,
absolutely, yeah.
to be more creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're a player, you could say, well, listen, I don't want to play there.
Yes.
And it's because that was the big thing with John Elway back in the day.
Eli Manning.
Yeah, they didn't want to play in the cities that drafted them. And that's in the thing that I remember with John Elway is like, if he had just graduated from Stanford Law School, he wouldn't have to move to Baltimore to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
He could live wherever he wanted to live.
Yep.
So that actually makes sense. That's a good move.
So when the question comes up, why should we watch women's sports? For a variety of reasons. For the role models.
Yeah.
For the fact that they're innovative. How about for the fact that why don't you mind your own business and let people like what they like?
Well, that's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest one.
Who
Who cares if I watch women's sports? Why does it matter to my brother that I watch women's sports?
Why would it matter if you could watch anything? If you watch Love Actually, or whatever, why does he care about anything?
He watches the Dallas Cowboys. I think that's far worse than watching any women's sporting event whatsoever.
The Dallas Cowboys are the worst.
They are the worst.
A joke.
They are the worst. And you don't see me here judging him because he watches the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, I'm judging him.
He should be judged.
Yeah.
He should be judged.
So you have to tell me about this big thing, Solar Buddy. What's
So
this thing?
I'm glad you brought it up because I am now that will put me in a better mood.
Yes,
than
you had to
what
get you in a
I was
better
just
mood,
in
yeah.
right now. So Solar Buddy is this organization for those of you who are looking to do something kind, benevolent for your fellow man
During the holiday
child
season, yeah.
during the holiday season. Solar Buddy is an organization. I have it right here, right there. See, right? You see it right? Wait, hey, come back here. There we go. Right there.
There you go, yeah.
SolarBuddy.org. And what they
SolarBuddy.org.
SolarBuddy.org. And what you can do is you can either donate or get involved. They will send you the very lovely person who sent me the information on Solar Buddy. They sent her a solar light that she put together, did a little handwritten note. It is going to a child in the Dominican Republic who does not have actual light to be able to do their work. So what it does is it provides solar lights to children to be able to do schoolwork, just anything around the house during the evening hours. It's really, it's paying it forward. It is paying it forward. And like I said, for those who are looking to do something kind and benevolent for your fellow man this holiday season, SolarBuddy.org.
Jump on it.
Can't go wrong.
Jump on it.
Can't go wrong.
So that's a good one. Who had the worst week ever?
Wells Fargo, I'm looking at you. I am looking at you. And it was going to be someone else. It really was. It was going to be someone else until earlier today. So I'm minding my own business. Go to check my banking account. And I get this thing that pops up that says, I try to get on the Wells Fargo app. Your account has been restricted. Please call our 844 number or visit your Wells Fargo branch immediately so no further action is taken. I'm like, what happened? What did like some Nigerian prince trying to hack into my account?
I know what happened. Yeah.
I hustle on down to the Wells Fargo branch here in Stockton off of Marsh Lane. Wait in line, and it's Friday, so you know what the line's going to be like.
Yeah.
And I get up there, and I just say, I got a message on my account. Before I can even finish the rest, they're like, oh yes, we're having apparently the app is having technical difficulties. Everyone is getting that message. Don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with your account. Now, I get that technical things happen. The world is not a perfect place. Mistakes will happen. What I don't understand is how they knew there was a problem. Wells Fargo knows there's a problem, and I checked their Twitter, I checked their Facebook page, nothing about, hey everyone, we have a technical glitch. No text messages, no text messages from Wells Fargo saying, hey, we got a glitch. Pay no heed or mind if this message pops up. I took 30 minutes out of my day.
Yeah.
Just because the Wells Fargo IT department took a poop in the bed.
And they did. And they laid in it. They brought you with them.
And they brought everyone who got that message with them earlier today. So that, Wells Fargo, is why you have the worst week ever.
Honorable mention, Buster Posey, because he allowed Severino to sign with a team that doesn't have a city, doesn't have a stadium. He allowed Severino to sign with them. Severino was going to sign with the Giants. I don't know what they did, but somehow the Oakland A's wound up. What are they? The Sacramento, Oakland, Las Vegas?
No, they're just the A's.
Yeah.
But maybe Severino thought the dating pool in Sacramento was better than San Francisco.
Okay, maybe. Anyway,
everyone, have a great weekend. Enjoy the college football playoffs this weekend.
Yes, and like, follow, subscribe.
Like, follow, subscribe. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
Come on!
While it's still around.
Well, yeah, and at my school at Brookside, there's a couple kids that came up and said they were watching us.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They said we were cringeworthy.
Those young children, if they're watching us, they're going to have bright futures.
Absolutely.
They're 100% going to have bright futures.
Yes.
And we are not cringeworthy. Youngster, we are not cringeworthy. Everyone have a great weekend. Until next week. Peace out.